Good evening, and I appreciate those who have joined with us, but also recording it for those who did not join with us, because we'll send out the link to everyone and be reminded that in 2 weeks, we will talk about build a plan. We had the video sent out about that everyone should have looked at about building a team. Tonight, we're going to talk about building a vision, talk about building a plan, and then after you return from your training in Oak Brook, we will have a discussion on building success. Together, we're going to change the world, and we're changing the world one smile at a time. Let me share my screen with everyone so that we can begin. If anyone has any questions, you can put them in the chat box and we'll answer them toward the end. As we begin to build a vision, it's so important that we do some homework ahead of time. Number one, that we find a location that will have some tables where that 5 or 6 people can sit around each table, that we plan the time. If we're going to plan it from 10 to 2, we also need to make sure that we have meals selected and available to those who are participating. The other thing that we need to do is we need to invite everyone in our district to join this Build a Vision meeting. If we invite 1,200 people, we will have approximately 35 to 40 that will actually show up. Those are your visionaries. Those are the people that are ready and willing to assist you as we move forward and find greater success. And so you've got your core team, your leaders in the global leadership, global extension, global membership, and global service teams. Now we've expanded that circle to invite everyone. We've got 35 to 40 individuals who care about your district and want to see greater success. And we get them together, they sign in. We're not going to worry about name tags that day. Everybody's just a lion. We're not going to worry about protocol that day. Everyone is a lion and every idea is important. The other thing you need to do is you need to have a butcher paper or the white chart paper that you can write on, because every idea that's mentioned needs to be written down, and each of those pages need to be taped up on the wall to demonstrate to those who are participating that, number one, we're hearing them, we're listening to them, we think it's important enough to write it down, and we think it's important enough to keep them. And so we line up the room with all of the ideas as we go throughout the day. Also, then, you need to have gone ahead and looked at your 5-year averages on new members, dropped members, new clubs. And then you can go on and look in insights to some of your service opportunities that you've had in the past, so that as questions come up, that we can base our future success on what we have done in the past. And we're beginning to change our membership trends and move in a positive direction. We're expanding our impact of service, and we're expanding our pool of leadership, because within this 35, 40 people that attend, that's where you're going to find your next vice district governors. That's where you're going to find people to finish filling out your committee slots, your zone chairs, and you're going to begin to prepare people to get in line to serve as a district governor and move your district in the most positive way. And so tonight, as we talk through this, then we're going to talk about the global membership approach and build a vision. You've got some homework done, and each of you should already be picking out the date, the time, the place, and communicating with the members of your district, inviting them to come here, letting them know how important they are to this process. Once they gather, you're going to share with them, and this PowerPoint is available on lionsclubs.org/global under Build a Vision. Download the PowerPoint. I'm going to encourage you to go through it and make it your own. And the one we're going to look at tonight, I'm going to show you how that we made it our own for my district. But we're going to talk about the district vision. We're going to talk about the mission 1.5 targets, and then we're going to talk about the next steps after we've built our vision with our visionaries. It's so important that as we come together, that they understand that it is a process. And when this process is used at the district level and the club level, we see clubs getting in line to get the Club Excellence Award. We see districts getting in line to get the District Excellence Award. This is an opportunity for us to expand our service, by engaging more volunteers and developing greater leaders. And so this slide here is one that I slid in when we had our Build a Vision meeting in 34A. And 34A was the first district ever to have a Build a Vision meeting in 2019. But we looked at these trends, the new clubs we've started, the clubs we've dropped, and let everyone understand where we're going and why we need to go there. Those goals are the Mission 1.5 goals, and Lions Clubs International had asked our district to charter one new club. That's based on your 5-year history and the ability that your district has in forming new clubs. But take and make some slides and occasionally slide them in to give that local flavor, because your visionaries want to know about your district. We also talked about new members and dropped members. In 2018-19, we had a +2 in 34A. 19-20, we started the global membership approach, which was NAMI at the time. We ended up with -37, and we've been cutting that every year, -25, -11, -7, by using this process. And at the end of December of 31st of 23, we're only -1. I do believe that this is the year that we're going to go positive and stay positive. We also looked at some of the other goals that our district governor had set and where we were on reaching those goals and what we needed to do in order to meet and exceed those goals. Those 3 slides are not in what you're going to find at lionsclubs.org/global, but it's an opportunity for you to make it yours and make it your own. After sort of talking about those goals and where you've been and where you're going, it's time for us to begin to have some table talk. Whoever's facilitating your meeting needs to be somebody that can interact with the audience, that can pull out ideas, refine ideas, and help them to understand that together we are building a vision. We're building a dream for the better tomorrow. Your district governor-elect and your vice district governors, they need to be your scriveners and writing ideas and taping them on the wall. This is an opportunity for your district leadership and your district governor team to listen, not to participate or not to really say anything during the meeting, but just simply to listen, because this is the opportunity for them to learn. The first question is, what do Lions and club officers expect from their district governor team? And so you have about 5 minutes where the tables discuss that and make the top 2, 3, 4 things that they believe a district governor should do. And then your facilitator will ask each of the tables to report out. And as those things are reported out, your scrivener, who's writing things down for you, is recording every one of those ideas. When you get to the end of this question, you're going to put it on the wall and you're going to ask them, what do Lions and club officers expect from their zone chairperson? And their zone chairperson, a lot of them don't know who a zone chair is, what a zone chair does. It's an opportunity for us to begin to train and inform our district about this very vital role, and also have people to begin to volunteer to be zone chairs because they understand the importance. And really, a zone chair is a mini district governor to 4, 5, maybe 6 clubs that are closely located. And so everything we expect of our district governor, we should also be expecting of our zone chair. But our visionaries are going to talk about it at the table. They're going to ask some questions. We're going to refine and answer those questions, and they're going to report out the results. Finally, as we're finishing talking about expectations, what do we expect of Lions clubs? And once again, talk about it at the table, report it out, write it down. This is the most important question for a district governor-elect to listen to, because as you travel to clubs, some of them are going to be less engaged than you would like for them to be. And so you've got a choice as a district governor, speaking to them for 10 or 15 minutes. You can browbeat them and tell them how awful they are and what that they should do, and they'll turn you off and they'll not change anything at all. Or you can simply say, I hope that you were represented at the Build a Vision meeting. If not, next year I want you to be. Because when the visionaries come together, they said that a good club reports their service monthly. A good club reports their membership increases monthly. A good club is engaged in their community and uses social media to publicize what their club is doing. And you list those 4 or 5 things. And then you, as your club, will have to decide whether or not you're meeting the benchmarks set by the visionaries. And if you're not, let me know, and I'll help you to get to where you want to be, because we all want to be excellent clubs. And the Club Excellence Award is one of those awards that I think that this club could, in fact, win if we'll all get together and start working on it now. In such a positive way, and you've not taken and browbeat them. You've only told them what the visionary said, and you give them a chance to evaluate, and you've offered yourself to help and you've set the expectation that this club will achieve the award of a Club Excellence Award. And if half of our clubs reach Club Excellence Awards in most districts, it'd be a good day. But wouldn't it be great if we had all of our clubs to do that? So we're finished with expectations, and we're going to move into this vision of the future. 5 years from now, if a former member called to inquire about your club, what would you like to tell them about the changes for the better that you've made? And how have these changes been shared across the district? And you can either choose to do this by table, or you can just simply choose to let folks raise their hand and give you some ideas of what the future would look like. I want my club to have increased in size by 10% in the next 5 years. I want my club to have started a new service project. My club isn't doing anything with diabetes. I want us to take and develop a diabetic project. One of the most unique ideas that come out is someone says, I want to move our Leo clubs from the schools where we're not getting much traction to a virtual online Leo club, and then come together quarterly for service projects. And so these great ideas of what the future looks like will be found within the room. And they're great ideas that some of them we can implement, and some of them we'll put on the list to be implemented in the future. But after you've got them all listed, then ask the participants, which of these ideas do you believe that we can implement in the next 12 to 18 months? What's your top 3 or 4? And they'll begin to tell you what the top 3 or 4 are. Below stars by them, and that is beginning to mark what you're going to work into your plan as we build our plan. And so we're right now probably about 30, maybe 40 minutes into the meeting. And we're going to move on to, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Henry Ford said that, although our immediate past president, Brian Sheehan, believes that he said it first. I don't think he did. I think it was Henry Ford. And so why do we need more members? And this is an opportunity for you to fill in the blanks, customize this for your district. Are we happy with where we are? Can we do better? What changes are needed to help us be the best we can be? Let the tables talk. Let the tables report out, and let's tally how many folks are happy and how many folks are not happy. Let's tally how many believe we can do better, how many think that we're doing just fine, and most important, what changes are needed to help us be the best we can be. And they're going to tell you things like, we need more training. And if it's vague like that, your facilitator says, tell me what kind of training you need. What topics do we need to cover in training? What changes are needed? Someone's going to say, well, we need to communicate better. Tell me how that you believe that we should communicate. You're writing these ideas down, you're working together, you're pulling out ideas. We're about an hour into it. And so let's take about a 5-minute stretch break, give everybody an opportunity to get a soft drink or a coffee or a snack, and go to the restroom, come back at the end of 5 minutes, and remind them that recognizing the truth about ourselves is the starting point of all change. And so then we're going to talk about our Mission 1.5 targets. And your district governor-elect has those targets. They can be found on Insights when you log into Lions and your membership account. Go over to Insights, and up toward the top, it'll say Mission 1.5. Click that, look at your district, and you'll find yours. What I would suggest you do is you take and personalize this slide. So under where it says new members, new clubs, you might put plus 1 or plus 2, whatever the mission 1.5 goal is. Under new members, net growth of plus 15 or whatever it is. Membership satisfaction is based upon the number of people who drop and our service projects. And our leadership support is going to be based upon how many leaders we're training and developing. Look at your mission 1.5 targets, personalize this, be able to explain it, and your facilitator explain it to all your visionaries, because together we're beginning to set the benchmarks for where we're going as we move forward. Now, the first focus area of mission 1.5 is rejuvenating districts with new clubs. At your tables, ask them, why are new clubs valuable? A lot of our Lions have never thought about why new clubs are valuable. Where can we start a new club? Let your visionaries talk about all the places that a new club can be started in your district. What specialty clubs would be most successful? Let them begin to talk about the specialty clubs. And you may have to explain to them what a specialty club is, and then what training or resources are needed. Probably one of the most exciting ideas that come out of a meeting where I facilitated is someone says, we need new club 101. From beginning to end, how we start a club to getting it chartered and getting it through 2 years of success and standing on its own feet. Your visionaries are going to be honest. We've set the questions so that everyone is beginning to open up. You're at the table, they've discussed these probably about 10 minutes, and then you reported it out and you've written down all the ideas, you've put it on the wall. And then finally, it's time for us to talk about whether or not our district commits to the membership growth targets, which were established by Mission 1.5, or our team will charter an additional how many clubs with at least 20 charter members. And so if your visionaries say, Mission 1.5 says 1, but we've been averaging 2 or 3, and we'll pledge another 2 clubs next year, then that's all right. Put it down on your piece of paper that you're putting on the wall, so that as your district governor-elect enters the goals for your district, that they can include whatever the visionaries say, because the visionaries are right. We're then going to move to focus area 2, revitalizing clubs with new members. Go through the same process. We're going to read the questions. We're going to leave them on the screen. We're going to let each table discuss why invite people to join your club. What's the best way for a club to add new members? Does your club host a membership growth event? Most Lions will not know that at lionsclubs.org, there's a membership growth event toolbox that gives you a 6-week planning guide for bringing members into your club. Talks about the letters to send out, talks about how to call and confirm that folks are coming, talks about what videos to show at the meeting, and it has a sample agenda for each meeting. It's a great tool that's available at lionsclubs.org. Just in the search box, type in membership growth event, and it will come up, and you can download everything that you need and use it. And then what training or assistance is needed. And so once your tables have had about 10 minutes to talk about those things, then you're going to get back together and bring out all those answers. You're going to record them. You're going to put them on the wall. And then our district commits to the membership goals targets, which were established with Mission 1.5, or will induct an additional X number of members into existing clubs. Let your visionaries talk about it and let them decide what that your district can do. Because when Lions have input and ownership in developing this vision, it's going to be much easier for you as a district governor-elect to lead. It's when you have the vision and are trying to sell the vision to people who are not committed that you have the most challenge. Build a vision meetings are essential to your success and the success of your district. We're going to move to focus area 3, which is remotivating members with fellowship and exciting service. And as we talk about fellowship and exciting service, how do we know a Lion is engaged? Why is new membership orientation important? Or is it important? How do service projects help retain members? How can we re-engage members who stop participating at club activities? This is an opportunity for your visionaries to have a discussion at the table, then to report out and to help us to take and develop strategies for engaging members and orientating members and increasing our membership, our service impact. And then are we going to just commit to the membership growth targets established, or will we increase our net gain target by how many members? Your visionaries will tell you, and we're going to listen. And then finally, we're going to move into focus area 4, support districts and clubs. What programs, seminars, or training should be offered to club officers? And you're going to hear things like agenda planning, Robert's Rules of Order, conflict resolution, managing a service team. What is the best format to deliver the training? And everyone has their own opinion. Some like it like tonight via Zoom. Some like it being recorded where they can watch it at their own pace. Some would prefer to be in person. Let your visionaries talk, and you try to find a hybrid with your global leadership team to provide this training in a lot of different formats that people can embrace and learn in a way in which they're comfortable with. If the district hosted a Lions Leadership Institute, who should attend? And talk about the Emerging Lions Leadership Institute, the Regional Lions Leadership Institute. Talk about ALLI and whether people from your district should go. And what other types of support can we provide to our leaders? They're going to have ideas, and whatever their ideas are, we're writing them down, and we're keeping those, because that's going to be the basis for us taking and building our plan that we're going to talk about in 2 weeks. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. And so this Build a Vision meeting is helping us to begin to adjust our sails to meet the needs and exceed the needs of our district. And so from there, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about leveraging our strengths, managing our weaknesses, taking advantage of our opportunities, and minimizing the impact of our threats. And so the next 4 slides, we'll take each one of those. We'll have 5 minutes at the table. We'll report out. We'll put it up on the wall. The first thing we're going to do is talk about what we do well, our strengths in the areas of new clubs, new members, membership satisfaction, and leadership support. They're going to fill that out at each table. They're going to report it out to us so that we know what we do well. And then what can we improve on? Every district has something they can improve on. At the tables, they're going to make that list. They're going to report it out. We're going to record all those ideas. We're going to refine some of those ideas. There's some of them that will spark discussion in the room, and we're going to let that spontaneous discussion take place because we're learning from them. Finally, we're going to talk about opportunities. Where do we have opportunities to expand our service impact by engaging volunteers? And we're going to come back to those opportunities. There's a new business opening in such and such town, and a lot of people are moving in. I think we could start a club there. I think we might be able to even start a club in that new plant that is starting up. Whatever the ideas are and those opportunities are, we're recording them because every idea is important. And then finally, we're going to talk about threats. What's happening outside the Lions clubs that may impact our success? A plant or a job, an employer closed. We can't do anything about it. We've just got to adjust our sails. A particular school system closed, and there's not as many people living in a community where we once had a club. Whatever the threats are, we're listing those, and we're continuing. You're going to have about 3 to 3.5 hours of good conversation, and everyone is going to take part and feel as they have ownership because their voice has been heard. In order to carry positive action, we must develop here a positive vision. And so we're going to begin to talk about who all is key to our success in this global membership approach. And basically, if they've got a Lions pin, they need to be engaged. We need to be sharing the results of all the discussion that we've just finished with all the Lions in the district and let them know that we're going to begin to build plans. This is a perfect time to pass out 3x5 cards and let everyone that is a visionary write down their name, their email, their phone number, and whether they're passionate about new members, new clubs, new service, or leadership development. Because whatever they're passionate about, we're going to let them help us build the plan of action in that area. And then we're going to bring 4 action plans together. New clubs will be headed up by your global extension team leader. New members by your global membership team leader. New and exciting service, and it will be done by your global service team leader and your leadership development by your global leadership team. So all 4 of your global action team people will lead those that are passionate in their area to develop the plan, but also to implement that plan over the next 12 months, because the work is so much easier when we have 5 or 6 passionate people working together. And so after we've finished all of that, we're going to communicate the results of this meeting today to our clubs and our district cabinet. We're going to send it off to our council chair and our global action team on the multiple district level. Not that they have a veto power, but so that they will have an idea of what we have accomplished in our district in our Build a Vision meeting. And then we're going to complete at the Lions Learn Center action planning to achieve district goals and succession planning. We're going to cover those 2 things as we get ready to build these plans. We're going to write an action plan for each membership growth target established, and we're going to mobilize for plan implementation and goal achievement. That is the global membership approach Build a Vision session. I thank you for being here tonight, and I'm going to stop the recording and we'll answer any questions that anyone might have.
So,
Roshni, did I
yes,
do
sir.
okay?
You did. You explained it very well. But I have a question for you, and I'm not sure if I'm on the right track.
Okay.
So I'm just giving you a scenario because this is on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So we have approximately 500 plus women in business, in a group,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not all Michigan based. They are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They are also in different countries, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Some members are kind of they know. For example, I'll give you a concrete example. These women, a lot of them are in India.
Mm-hmm.
They are members of this group. They fully know everything about Lionism. Can we bring them in as a Lion, although they are in India?
Our Constitution bylaw says that 75% of your membership must live within the multiple district. And so you're in Michigan. If you had 100 members in Michigan, you could have 25 members from outside of Michigan in that particular club. What might be easier to do is to look and see if you've got enough in each state and each country to charter several different clubs and let them serve in their community in their way. Because if someone from India joins a Michigan club, it's going to be difficult for them to be engaged in hands-on service. Whereas if they join a local club in their local community, they can give back in a more meaningful way.
So let me explain you what they're doing right now.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm just throwing you some numbers. Let's say there are 2 people in Australia
Mhm.
and they want to work with blind women and they do something.
Mhm.
They are doing a service. There are 7 people in Nigeria and they are working with serving food and for the hungry and needy and whatever it is. So
Mhm.
they are doing their service. So different countries, people are doing something different, but yet they are servicing.
Mhm.
if we can get them as Lions, like you said, primarily it would be Michigan based, and there would be a cyber club because I already have a cyber club.
Mhm.
But if they are based in Michigan, majority of them are, then can we start that club?
You can start a club there in Michigan. And how many members would you have that live within Michigan?
Oh my God. I would say overwhelming majority. I would say 300 plus.
Okay, so if you have, let's go with 300 for a second. If you have 300, that means that you can have 75 members who are outside of Michigan. So you can get those 2 or 3 in Australia, and you can get those 6 or 8 in Nigeria, and you just have to continue to watch your membership so that you don't get out of balance and violate the international constitution.
Got it. Okay.
I would love to help you do that.
Well, let's see how sincere they are, because sometimes it's mostly talk. But if out of that group I can even get, 20 members,
Mhm.
then we will definitely. I'm working at it. Just have to be patient because I'm kind of new to this. I just
That's all
got
right.
enrolled.
If you have 20 in Alabama, I'll sure help them down here to get started.
Oh, that would be wonderful. But yeah, these are all business women. Every one of them is either in business or professionals, like dentists, doctors, own
Mhm.
their own business. They have rental properties, whatever they have, but it's empowerment of the women. That's
Mhm.
the group
Well,
dynamic women. So let's see
and
what happens.
if you have some in Texas, I've got almost anywhere that you've got 20 or more that want to join in a state. I've got some friends there that would join with us to get them chartered if you exceeded your people outside of the
Right.
Michigan goal, because we don't want to leave anyone out. But if you've got 300 in Michigan and 75 out, and you still got 20 or 25 in Alabama that want to join, I can get that done for you.
Okay. We
Or
will be
Texas or
working
wherever.
on it. It'll take some time, but I am working on it. So, but thank you very much. I wonder what happened to everybody else. I wonder if they got the link.
I know that they did got the link because several have, well, one of the folks was at the Council of Governors meeting in 11, told me that they discussed it. And in Illinois at the Council of Governors meeting, they discussed it. So I know the link went out and the link was correct because you're here. Sometimes, how do I politely put this?
People are busy.
Sometimes when an area has had maybe lackadaisical leadership, then the district governor-elects get a little lackadaisical and apathetic. And what they don't know is I'll just send the recording to them and they can watch it on their own time. And I'll remind them that they need to join me in 2 weeks to build a plan. And their homework is to watch these 2 videos.
Yeah, I
And so
watched the first one.
the first one was build a team.
Yes.
It was it's on my YouTube channel. I'll send them a link to it as well. And so I don't get discouraged. I just do what I need to do and
Yeah.
record it and send it on out.
Awesome job.
Okay. Thank you so very much for joining
you.
me.
Take
And you have
care.
a good evening.
Good night.
Night.
God bless.